Hi, I'm John Arana. This is Karina San Martin.
Hey everybody, what's up?
And we're here once again with you at the Drop, dropping truth and bringing life.
Bringing life, yes.
I mean, we're trying. That's what we're trying to do. So, we were talking about keeping your family safe.
Yeah, when we're talking about the
And
family.
so this kind of involves your marriage, your children, your home economy, whatever it may be that makes your family a family. Then if we protect it, then we have a better opportunity to be able to raise a healthy family and protect our kids and our marriage.
Right.
So anyhow, we talked about different things. We talked about priorities in time. We talked about family meals.
Yeah.
Those are huge.
Making time
we
for
talked
that.
about the internet, social media, in general, and
Cell phones, all that stuff.
and we had a great conversation on that. And today let's talk about having your needs met versus materialism.
Yeah.
In I notice, this is what I notice. I notice a lot of people come here to this country because they want the materials life.
Want things, sure.
They want things, and they come here and their number one goal is work hard, buy the house, buy the car, buy the jet ski, all that kind of stuff. And their life becomes all about that.
Yeah.
And that's a dangerous slope.
It is. I think that having balance with this is really key for the health of your family.
Yeah.
And I see it. I see it in some of my kids' friends, and even sometimes with our kids, we have to reevaluate and be like, okay, whoa, I think maybe they have too much stuff, or we're being too quick to say, oh, let's just buy it, or whatever.
Sure.
And so I think that this thing is important, and I think it's overlooked a lot of times.
Yeah. Because
it's like, oh, whatever we have, so we can.
We also think, especially in Christianity, often we think, well, the more I have, that means the more I'm blessed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be a false thing as well,
Yeah, because sometimes the more you have means the more you're in debt.
Right. Yes. it definitely, and I think especially taking this into the stage I am with our kids, I think that there's definitely been times that we've had to evaluate and say, look, you're not even using these things. Yeah. Let's go through and clean out the things we're not using. And let's go and let's donate it to a shelter.
I love that.
Let's give it away. Do you have a friend that doesn't have this book?
I love that.
Give it to them. Give it to them.
Yeah.
And so I think that being intentional with having a good mindset of my needs need to be met. And yes, it's okay to have more than what I need.
Sure.
Because that is a value that's in the Bible.
If you're blessed to be a blessing, then you're cool with that kind of attitude. Right. That's awesome.
Right, and I think that's the big part. Be blessed to be a blessing to others, and then. And then you also have to step in sometimes with this materialistic view, and you have to chat with your kids, because some of my kids have been like, oh well, my friends have multiple Stanley cups. The Stanley cups are these big water, thermos cups that blew up
super popular
because
now.
of social media, and they're I don't even know. $50 a thing.
Seriously.
And I'm like, wait a minute. So you're telling me that your friend has a Stanley cup to match certain outfits?
Oh, no.
Different color Stanley cups to match her outfits.
No way.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh my.
10 different colors that she rotates with her outfits.
Oh my gosh.
And
that's insane.
I hear things like this sometimes and I'm like, well, I just want you to know that, that's not normal. That's not normal life.
Make sure.
Really,
Make sure you
just need one water cup.
Of course.
Because you clean it and then you refill it.
How about get one cup that goes with all your outfits?
Yeah, black. Get a black one. Get a black one, get a white one. Problem solved.
I love this scripture in 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 18. It says, let them, he's talking about people that have wealth.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing wrong with having wealth.
Exactly. Nothing
As
wrong.
long as wealth doesn't have you.
Yeah, that's
Okay?
so good.
But it says, let them do good, that they be rich in good works, ready to give, willing to share.
Yeah.
Again, that's
good.
that's a good, healthy balance. You
That's
know,
very
God
good.
wants to bless us financially, but when we are so preoccupied with getting things, then we can not attend to our marriage, not
Yeah.
attend to our families. I've talked to a lot of men that and women that tell me, you know, I had an affair because my husband was never there. He was never giving me time. He was never giving me any attention. You know, it's like I didn't even exist. Why? Because the guy was so preoccupied with success and financial success that they don't attend to their marriage. And it could happen vice versa.
Yeah, right,
But
right.
that's the pitfall right there. So the balance
Yeah,
is,
balance.
yeah, you know, I want to be blessed by God.
Yeah.
But maybe, this is a radical thought, maybe we ought to think, I don't need to have that much stuff.
Yeah.
Because what's more important is my time with my kids and my time with my spouse.
Yeah.
And maybe instead of taking that extra overtime, you know,
Yeah.
don't do it, man. Invest that time with your kids. Invest that time in
Yeah.
your marriage. Maybe instead of moving to a different state and taking this high-powered job that's going to keep you traveling 21 days out of the month,
Yeah.
maybe that's not your best choice.
Right. Yeah.
So these are radical thoughts in our culture because our culture is, forget it. If
Yeah.
there's more money, I'm going.
More money, bigger job. Yeah. No, and you know, it's funny because I think this specific issue, you know, having versus being materialism, I think it has a lot, to me, it always goes down to your core values.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and your beliefs and your convictions, and I think that should be formed with, you know, God involved.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that when you have a certain value, when you value family health, you value, you know, your values determine how you make your decisions.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
know? And my husband and I, we've always talked, because he has, you know, I have a ministry job.
Sure.
And he has like a corporate, you know, that
Right.
corporate world job.
Right,
And so
right.
something we've always agreed upon is, you know, I've told him, look, I would be willing to make a change, you know, like sell the house and get a smaller house, you know, move from where we are to somewhere else, if you find a job that God is in it,
Yeah.
you know.
There
But
you go.
I'm not willing to just move and uproot just for more money.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
like, no, I totally agree, because then you have your kids involved, you
Sure.
know, and you have to uproot them.
Oh, my
and
gosh.
they change their friends, they change their school, and,
Oh,
and I
boy.
get it. Everybody has a different path.
Sure,
you know what
sure.
I mean? And sometimes it's necessary to
Yeah.
take care of your family.
Yeah,
It depends on
exactly.
your situation.
Yeah.
But you know, if you have more than what you need, you know, and there's
Yeah.
that fine line of just always searching for more and more and more and more
Yeah.
and more, because
Yeah.
you can't be content.
That's the problem right
and
there.
versus
People don't
you
know how to be content.
Right. If it's a real need,
Yeah.
and it's like, we are not making it.
Sure.
We have to make a change.
Absolutely.
Versus we're making
Yeah.
it. We're good.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
But I want bigger and better.
Right. I think that is
Yeah.
that fine line of.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back. Your values.
Yeah.
And your convictions.
They
I think
determine
help
your
with
choices and your decisions.
this thing here, yeah,
Absolutely.
and it's a big thing for kids and family,
Yeah.
because it's a big, when materialism is at the core of the family,
Yeah.
or the
And what does that look like? Like
Well, I
when you
think-
say that, what does that look like for you? Because more practical description, I think,
Yeah.
would help people.
I think materialism for me in like my world that I'm in right now, like especially with kids and stuff, is like focused on always having the things. You
Something
know?
else.
Yeah.
The new thing. Something else.
Something else. You know, like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I have these shoes and these are really cool, but I also want these shoes.
Sure.
And I'm not happy
Yeah.
with having these shoes.
Sure.
That's materialism.
Yes,
You
exactly.
know, or I'm going to get upset
Yeah.
if I can't have this.
Sure.
Even though I already have
Yeah,
this.
of course.
I think materialism, sometimes at the root of it is lust.
Yes.
You know, wanting what you don't have.
Yeah.
but letting it drive your decisions.
Yes. At the expense
Of
other relationships.
Yeah, or other people,
so on and so forth.
Yeah, and so I think that I think kids a lot of times pick it up from their parents, and if the parents are
if they
very
promote
driven,
it,
materialistic, then the kids are. I think kids can also pick it up from other kids at school, and if you notice that as a parent, you have to jump in and be like,
you have to know what's happening.
Yeah, there's times that I've had to tell my kids, I understand that you really would like that, but we're not going to buy that right now. But look at what you do have.
Sure, exactly.
What is your favorite?
The other thing that I notice is that a lot of parents are driven by buying things for their kids. Oh, you want that PlayStation? Okay, I'll sacrifice myself and I'll get it for you. Because parents want to do good things for their kids.
Right.
And it's natural. But then that PlayStation controller ends up in the pool. Somebody thought it was a baseball and they threw it somewhere, and then the parents go and get another one. And what I'm getting at is that I think kids need things, and in this part of the living, but teach kids how to take care of themselves.
And value it.
Value it.
Yes.
Because then if they don't value it, then it's all pure materialism.
Yeah, that's so good.
It's kind of like, well, I want the next thing, because the gig is to get it, not to enjoy it and to take care of it.
Look what I have. And
so there's no value in it.
Yeah, no, that's huge. And I'm so glad you brought that up, because that, I think, feeds into materialism.
It feeds into
when you don't teach them, or, there's things that we say, like, hey, we've bought you what you need. Yeah. And now you want this pair of shoes. That's cool. You can get it, but you're going to have to pay for it yourself.
Yeah. Well, so there you go.
You're gonna do
I like
jobs.
that one because it teaches them a lot.
Right. You're going to do jobs, or you're going to ask Nana and Papa for a job, or
sure.
you can, or
Absolutely.
you can wait for your birthday and set aside your money and ask for money for your birthday.
Sure.
And,
exactly.
It's not that we can't go buy them the $100 pair of shoes.
Exactly.
We could,
that's not the point.
But it's like, well, we already bought you some shoes, so now you want these shoes. That's cool.
Exactly.
But you're going to have to do that and figure that out on your own. And it does. It teaches them work, value, and those types of principles. When you put that into your family, it really nips it.
They
it
pay
nips
off.
materialism, because it's like. It literally goes against it, and it teaches them that hard work and value for it. So
I think
that's really good.
When we teach our kids to take care of the stuff that they have been given, I think that's the message right there.
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to say, if you don't value what I've bought you, then why would I buy you something else?
Why would I buy you more?
If you don't value your bike, and I know kids get tired of toys.
Yeah.
We all do,
of course.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about just not appreciating it, not taking care of it.
Right.
If you don't take care of your bike, why would I buy you a car?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, wait a minute, man.
Yeah.
And now take care of your bike, and that's going to show me that you can take care of a car.
Yeah,
but if you don't do one, then why should I reward you with another?
Yeah, right, yeah. And I think this is so key to protecting the family, because this is also a big part of raising a person to become an adult.
Absolutely.
And helping them understand real life and reality, and how to be, balanced with these things. And also to teach them, like, one day, you're going to be out of the house, and I'm not buying you all this stuff anymore. You're going to have to work.
Exactly.
And then you're going to have to care for.
This is real life.
And yes, exactly. And it starts with these, so like sometimes I think parents think like, oh, whatever, they're just kids. And it's like, well, yeah, but they're also becoming young adults, then a grown-up, then, and so...
First 7 years, 9 years are formative.
Yes.
So people say, oh, they're just kids.
Yeah. Teaching them these things
and so why aren't we teaching our kids, and I'm speaking in general, to be better people instead of getting better things?
Yeah, that's a big one.
And I feel that, again, the emphasis of our culture is I have to teach you to be, dress better. I have to show you how to have better things and have the latest. Okay, there's an edge to that. But why don't we focus on, hey, more than the PlayStation, I'm here to teach you how to be responsible.
Yeah.
How to be a thoughtful human being, how to share your PlayStation, and that kind of thing.
Right,
I think,
right.
So anyhow, there has to be a balance somewhere.
No, that's so good. That's so good.
But I think the overemphasis of material things and the obsession of getting things in the home is something we need to watch out for.
Oh, yeah. My husband's really good at watching this and watching for this. And there's been times that he's told me, like, for a specific kid, he's told me before, like, hey, I don't want you buying Leo anything else, like, at the store. Like, these little things, he's like, don't buy him anything. Because he said, I noticed he gets something and he just throws it. Yeah. Or it's like lost or broken or whatever. And he said, I told him that right now, if he wants something from the store, he has to run to earn his money and then he can buy it himself.
Wow, that's good.
Because he gives him like, I don't know, like $2 if he runs a mile outside with Evie.
Cool.
And so I'm like, okay. But I'm like, he's right, because that's teaching him, like, first of all, I don't get you something every time we go to the store.
Exactly.
Second of all, if you want something bad enough, you're going to work. You can work for it. You're going to earn. And then you're going to go to the store. And you're going to buy it. And then you're going to put it on your shelf because you worked for it.
Take care
you're going to always put it in a special spot because you're like, I ran 5 miles so I could get this toy.
That was my money. That was my money.
And so don't be afraid to do things like that because, we got to train our kids.
And I think that is definitely a very powerful value in the home.
Yeah.
And it has long-term effects and long-term payouts as your family has that kind of value, that kind of environment.
Yeah, that's so good.
I think we're going to stop here today, and I want you to think about this. Good. Okay, where are you in the spectrum of this? Are you a person that's content with what you have? Or are you a person that is malcontent no matter what you have?
Yeah.
And I think we need to think about this
so
and look at ourselves and say, hey, what's reality? How am I living my life?
Yeah.
How am I handling my family? And maybe if you have to tweak it, make a little adjustment, then do it because it's going to benefit your family in the long run.
Oh, yeah. I agree. I love this that you wrote here. I want to read it because I think it sums it up really good. It says, our family's priority shouldn't be possessing things, but rather being the best people we can be, loving God, each other, our neighbor as ourselves. And as for material things, they shouldn't be an end in themselves. We don't need more than what's necessary for us to live with dignity. I think that's a great summary of the heart of today. And I love what you said. Just, see what you can do to implement and practice and adjust. That's what we're all doing with life.
Sometimes little adjustments have a big payoff.
Oh, yeah,
definitely. So anyhow, thank you for being here at The Drop. We hope that it's encouraging and maybe motivating. Maybe it's sharpening us a little bit more. But thank you for being here at The Drop. We're going to be back in the next episode, and we're going to talk about our life as a couple. If you're married, this is going to be awesome for you. If you're not married, I hope you learn this before you get married.
Yes.
Anyhow, thank you for being at The Drop. Until next episode.
See you next week.